Every year, Arsenal gets obsessed with a wonderkid, but this time it feels different. His name is Max Dowman. 14 goals in 7 games, youngest debutant in U18 history, and already making senior defenders look foolish in preseason. At 15, he's training with the first team, winning penalties against players twice his size, and making Arteta publicly admit it's not common to see this from a 15-year-old. He's been compared to Ødegaard, Messi, even Kaka. But here's the catch. He's not even old enough to sign a professional contract. So, the question's simple. Are we watching England's next Messi? Or just another kid we'll forget about in 5 years? In this video, we'll talk about why we think Max Dowman is built differently. Alright, to understand all the hype, you need to go back. In 2022, Dowman was just 13 years, 258 days old when he stepped onto the pitch for Arsenal's U18s against Reading, the youngest to ever do so. And he wasn't just playing, he was smashing the game. He scored 4 times in that game. 4! Against players 3 years older. And boy did he look untouchable. From there, the numbers started to get unreal. 14 goals in 7 games, hat tricks for fun, game winners in the FA Youth Cup. Just like that, fans started whispering words that implied legends. Messi too? Some compared him to Ødegaard with his vision, others to Kaka with his smooth dribbles and long sprints. Hale End had found its new power kid. Even social media made sure the hype never stopped. His dad cheekily dropped an emoji hinting at big moves. Dowman himself teased fans by liking posts about his future shirt number. At 14, he was already viral. But every smooth ride always comes with friction. First, the rules. A Premier League debut was not possible because he was too young. Dowman may be good enough, but the system blocks him until he turns 16. It kind of felt cruel watching Arsenal fans beg for him to be thrown in, only for paperwork to hold him back. Then came the whispers. Chelsea, City, even murmurs from Spain. Arsenal fans know the pain all too well, losing too good to be true talent before they can shine. With Aiden having gone and Cheeto Obi leaving, Hale End looked vulnerable. He feared that Dowman could be next. And if that wasn't enough, the academy itself was shaken. Jack Wilshere, the same Wilshere who guided these kids like a mentor, left Hale End. For Dowman, losing that voice in the dressing room was a big blow. Even on the pitch, the conflicts became too bitter. And at the under-17 Euros, defenders kicked him, fouled him, and triple-marked him. Against Belgium, he faced Nathan de Cat, 6'2", built like an athlete, already with senior goals for Anderlecht. Max, still 15, refused to back down, only showing his grit and determination. Every step of his rise has been marked by jaw-dropping highlights, the kind that spread like wildfire across timelines. Do you remember the Reading game? 4 goals, including one where he picked up the ball at near halfway, danced through defenders, and finished like a senior pro. Even the FA Youth Group versus United was a tremendous sight to see, where he was triple-marked, but it didn't matter. He picked it up in his own half, drove past red shirts like they weren't even there, won a penalty, then calmly slotted it home. At Dubai training camp, he was just 14, running drills with first-team stars, and holding his own. Fans couldn't believe the clips. Even last year, during the preseason Asia Tour introduction against Milan and Singapore, he looked absolutely fearless. 4 days later versus Newcastle, he charged into the box, shrugged off Joelinton, and won a penalty. At 15! That's too crazy. He even killed it at the Emirates night against Villarreal. He dribbled past defenders like cones, got shots off, and put crosses into the box. Arteta couldn't hide his smile. He continues to impress. It's not common. Even at the North London Derby in Hong Kong, the Spurs tried everything. Double marked by Jed Spence and Son, but they still couldn't contain him. What makes these moments so wild isn't just the skill, it's the audacity. Let's be honest, most 15-year-olds freeze in front of a crowd of 60,000. But Dowman runs at Premier League defenders like they're mannequins. There's something magnetic about a teenager who refuses to respect hierarchy. Joelinton bullied world-class midfielders, yet Dowman bounced off him and won a penalty. At the Villarreal game, you could almost feel the Emirates take a collective gasp. Every time he picked up the ball, fans leapt forward, expecting something outrageous, and he delivered every single time. Even in the PSG Youth League, he pulled off touches that screamed natural phenomenon. And let us tell you why we think people compare his playstyle with Messi, the greatest of all-time player. It's not about the numbers, it's the way Dowman moves. Like a young Messi at La Masia, he drifts between lines, drops deep to collect the ball, then drives with a low center of gravity that defenders can't read. His dribbles aren't flashy step-overs, they're quick shifts of balance, glides through traffic. And here's the kicker, he's already doing it with the end product. 14 goals in 7 games, assists threaded through impossible gaps, two-footed finishes inside and outside the box. He's not copying Messi, he's echoing him. Dowman's rise hasn't been just club-based. With England's U17s, he carried the badge like it weighed nothing. At the Euros in Albania, he was up against kids with senior minutes in their legs. He still stood out. His pace, his balance, his ability to shoot with either foot, it left scouts drooling. And the numbers kept rising. The youngest ever England scorer in tournament history. Another record, another headline, another viral clip. We cannot forget what it was like watching him against Paris Saint-Germain in the Youth League. Shocking, thrilling, and full of electricity. Within minutes of being subbed on, he let the ball run across his body like an athlete gone rogue, drew a foul instantly, then unleashed rockets off both feet. Left or right, it was hard to tell which was stronger. For defenders, he was impossible to stop. For England, the buzz feels even bigger. This isn't just Arsenal hype. Coaches at St. George's Park are already whispering that he's the best technician at his age in the country. That's not just smoke. England has seen Foden, Bellingham, Sancho, but none were this advanced at 15 years old. And we have to admit, England's always desperate for a golden boy. Every generation gets one. Rooney, Wilshere, Foden. Now fans are already nailing Dowman into that category. Is it premature? Absolutely. But if you watched him glide past Belgian midfielders twice his size, it doesn't feel that ridiculous. That alone is why Dowman feels different. Legendary different. That's why Thierry Henry said in an interview, if they keep him grounded, this boy might be the closest profile we've seen in England to Messi. Not in goals yet, but in the way the ball doesn't leave his feet. And yet, here's where things get tricky. Arsenal fans have seen this story before. Cesc, Fabregas, Jack Wilshere, even Nathan Nuanari, who at 15 became the youngest Premier League player ever, but then disappeared from senior football for nearly 2 years. Barcelona fans can say the same. Messi made his friendly debut at 16, but didn't play competitive football until 17. Lamine Yamal made his first touch at 15, but had to wait until 16 for regular minutes. Dowman is even younger, just 15. And history says kids this age don't survive long in the senior spotlight. The pressure breaks them or the system swallows them. Arsenal knows that. They must handle this carefully. Arteta himself warned he needs a break. He hasn't had holidays. He's been going and going. We're extremely happy with him, but we have to be careful. There's that word, careful. The word Arsenal fans hate to hear when they see a young kid with talent that reflects Messi. Here's the reality. Arsenal needs him badly. The squad is stacked with stars such as Ødegaard, Kaka, and Martinelli, but Hale End remains the heartbeat of the club, and with big names circling, losing Dowman would be a nightmare all over. But signing him isn't that simple. He's still too young for a professional contract. That means Arsenal's holding its breath, praying he stays loyal until the moment they can finally lock him down. If he makes his senior debut at 16, he'll be the youngest gunner ever to step onto the pitch in the Premier League, younger than Fabregas or even Nwaneri. That's the throne waiting for him. We don't think Arsenal can afford to fumble this one. They've already been burned, losing Omari Hutchinson to Chelsea, Aiden Heaven and Cheeto Obi to United. Now, fans are sick of seeing rivals poach Hale End diamonds. If Dowman follows the same path, it won't only be a huge loss, it'll be a scar on the academy's reputation. But here's the flip side. Dowman is scary good. You can sense his bond with the badge when he celebrates in front of fans, or when he talks about his family's connection to the club. If and only if Arsenal can wrap him in the right environment, they might build a team around him. The stakes couldn't be higher. Imagine a front three of Kaka, Martinelli, and Dowman by 2027. It's within touching distance, but to get there, Arsenal needs patience, protection, and above all, loyalty. So let's go back to the opening question. Max Dowman, the crown prince of Hale End. At 15, he's breaking records, embarrassing defenders, and making senior professionals look ordinary. He's got the vision of Ødegaard, the swagger of Kaka, and the two-footed finishing of a seasoned striker. But he's only a schoolboy who can't legally play every game yet. That's the irony. He's one bad tackle, one tempting transfer offer, one wrong step away from being just another name on the what could have been list. So, I'll leave it with you. Is Max Dowman the future of English football, or just another viral wonder kid destined to fade? And is he really Messi too? Because we sure think so. Because Messi at 15 was a frail kid in Barcelona's academy, lighting up friendlies but not yet breaking senior squads. Dowman is already influencing senior preseason games. Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this analysis, be sure to watch our video, Why We Think Cole Palmer is Scary Good. And we'll see you next time with another football story.